Good afternoon and welcome to Willoughby Field at the Langley Event Centre of the Township of Langley. We're just going to have a minute's silence for Remembrance Day here. Thank you for joining us on this Remembrance Day, and both the teams there just taking a moment to give their respect to all of those that have given up their life for the freedoms that we enjoy in this country. You're joining us today at Willoughby Field for a bronze semi-final, and whoever wins this will be in the bronze medal match tomorrow. It's a battle between the SAIT Trojans from Calgary in Alberta and VIU Mariners from Nanaimo, Vancouver Island, British Columbia. We'll give you the starting lineups for both teams. For the SAIT Trojans, in goal it's number 1, Marko Ilic. Number 3, defender Stanley Sanaga. Number 5, defender Kyle Rothney. Number 6, Connor Stabler, defender. Number 7, midfielder Nico Gonzalez. Number 8, midfielder Solomon Aria. Number 9, forward Brock Mitchell. Been wanting to do that all week. Number 10, midfielder Tyson Chitani. And number 11, forward Kwasi Oteng. Number 17, defender Jolly Kopo Anamo. And number 21, midfielder Sine Hyla. And the action gets underway. The Trojans in the white jerseys and the red shorts with the red numbers are shooting from right to left in this half. VIU Mariners in the blue jerseys, black shorts and the white numbers, many of them with blue hair, which is their playoff tradition, and they are shooting from left to right in this half. For the VIU Mariners, the starting lineup, in goal, it's number 7, Michael Heppel. Number 3, midfielder, Juan Rubiano. Good to see that Rubiano is back healthy after going off with a knock in last night's semi-final matchup. Number 4, midfielder, Travis Brown. Number 6, defender Matthew Coburn. Number 9, forward Ori Fisher. Number 14, defender Jonathan McKenzie. Number 15, forward Patrick Osakabe Green. Number 18, midfielder Declan Brown. Number 19, forward Hirotaka Nishikawa. And number 20, midfielder Leon Jonathan Bacchus. And number 24, defender Douglas Metababikwa. Metababikwa getting the assist last night. Missing from the starting lineup for VIU is their talismanic number 10, Vasilis Bagiopoulos. He's been in rich form just now. Haven't had a chance to speak to head coach Kevin Lindo as to whether that is a knock or whether that is just a tactical thing to give a few guys a fresh leg and a run out. If he is good to go, I'm pretty sure we will see Bagiopoulos coming on in the second half. Leading the line though for Mariners tonight is number 9, forward, rookie forward, Ori Fisher. How we got to this stage I'll come to shortly, as the Trojans now on the attack. First real attack of the game for SAIT. And it's knocked away there before Mitchell can line up and get a shot. And it's going to be the first corner, I think, of the afternoon. And of course, once again, I forgot to stop my stopwatch here. So we will start it again now. Into the 3rd minute here already of this bronze semi-final matchup. It's a corner kick to the Trojans behind the tent. You'll just have to trust me, it is a corner kick. Ball whipped dangerously into the box. It's bouncing around the 6-yard box. Runs through and the Mariners will get this one cleared. No one up for the Mariners. Both these teams would love a chance to get a medal and come away. Might not be the medal that they were hoping for heading into this one, particularly the Mariners, who went down to a heartbreaking penalty shootout loss yesterday afternoon. Mariners just moving the ball around now. So just explain how we got into this matchup. For VIU Mariners, they won their quarterfinal 5-2 against the Holland Hurricanes. 1-0 draw with Seneca Sting in their semi-final yesterday evening, going down to a heartbreaking 4-3 loss on penalty kicks. That set up a chance for them to at least go for bronze and try and get a medal from this tournament. VIU Mariners, 3 times CCAA champions, one in 1983 as Malaspina, one in 2010 and one in 2017 when they were the hosts. Maribikwa sending this one into the box. It's flicked on by the Trojans into the danger zone, but it's a Trojan foot that gets that one clear, and they've got a chance to break quickly here. And it's Hyla, and it's still Hyla. He's powering forward here. Could do with a little bit of support. He looks to his inside. He's going to have to do a lot of this work on his own. 2 Mariners players around him. Ball played back to Oteng. Chitani gives it back to Hyla, who in turn gives it back to Chitani. Trojans will switch it now over to the other side. Hyla, a very important player for this SAIT team, very involved in the early going here. Trojans got to this game after a 3-1 quarterfinal loss to the hosts Langara Falcons. Their goal in that one coming from an own goal, and then they won their bronze quarterfinal yesterday afternoon 4-2 against Le Rouge de San Boniface from Manitoba, the Winnipeg side, and that was a 4-2 win. Their first goal in that also from an own goal. So Owen Goal, the joint leading scorer for the Trojans in this championship, along with Nico Gonzalez, who's got 2 goals to his name. Brock Mitchell, the other scorer yesterday for SAIT. If you want to get in touch during the broadcast, as always, we love to get interactive, so please get in touch with us on Twitter at AFTN Canada. That's away from the numbers, AFTN Canada on Twitter. Or if Twitter is not your thing, you can get in touch via email, aftncanada@hotmail.com. Always love to hear where you are watching these games for. If you want to send any good luck messages to any of the lads out there today, chat about the team or this tournament, always glad to hear from you during these broadcasts. My voice a little bit rough and ready this morning. I think the cold from the last 2 evenings has taken its toll. It's nice to do an earlier game today, I've got to say. Don't even have to zip up for this one, as it's quite nice temperatures today, meant to be getting up to a high of 7 by the time that we get into the second bronze semi-final. It goes at 3 o'clock, and there's going to be a battle between the Nomads Montmorency and the hosting Langara Falcons. So the 2 BC sides hoping that they can set up an all BC bronze medal matchup. SAIT Trojans looking to have something to say about that. Trojans hosted last year's CCAA Nationals. They got to this tournament by winning their 3rd ACAC title this year. For VIU, they're 8-time Pac West champions, 5 in their former guise of Malaspina, 3 as VIU. It was their first Pac West title since 2011 that they got this year. For VIU, their kind of talismanic player is Vasilis Bagiopoulos, who's not starting this one. 10 goals all season for Bagiopoulos, including this tournament. For SAIT, it's Seni Haila that is their big marksman. 11 goals on the season he had coming into this tournament. Hasn't found the net though this tournament. Brock Mitchell had 9 coming into this tournament. His 1 goal yesterday takes him up to 10 for the year. Nico Gonzalez's 2 goals yesterday take him up to 9 for the year. So there's a lot of firepower in this SAIT Trojan side. It has an unbeaten season in the ACAC. 9 wins, 1 draw in the regular season in the South Division. 47 goals scored in their 10 games as well, and just 6 goals against, keeping 7 clean sheets. So they are a tough team to break down. Giving up 5 goals in their 2 games in this tournament, which has maybe been a bit of a surprise to some. Just shows you the quality of competition that has been at these CCAA Nationals this week. It's been a fantastic 3 days of football so far. As the Trojans try and break up the left-hand side. Bit of pressure there, meaning Connor Stabler couldn't get a good cross in, but takes a touch off Nishikawa. One of the players still sporting that blue hair. It's meant to have been the lucky blue hair, and a few of the guys changed it yesterday. Was that maybe their downfall in that semi-final loss to Seneca Sting? Football superstition's always such a big thing. You should get that blue hair dye back out, guys, especially if you've got a bronze medal match-up tomorrow. Still sporting the blue hair is goalkeeper Michael Heppel, and it's his long throw out to the other blue-haired beast, Hirotaka Nishikawa. But the Trojans get this ball sent back dangerously into the box again. It's bouncing around and brought down by Brock Mitchell. Long ball of the top for Stabler, looking to get brought down, but the flag goes up very quickly on the far side. Mariners battling away in the middle there with Bacchus. And the flag up for an offside, this time on VIU. SAIT send a long ball into the half, looking to try and bring this one down. They have brought it down. Chitani plays that out to Kopa Anomo. And they're going to try and build up the right-hand side, but it's picked up by the Falcons, or Mariners rather. Well won back though by SAIT, and there is a shot in and goal, easy for Michael Heppel to deal with. Michael Heppel, a dual player on this Mariners side, midfielder and a goalkeeper, earned Pac West All-Star honours this year. And if you saw him play last night in that game against Seneca Sting, you know what a fantastic goalkeeper he is. Mariners now, they haven't really been much of an offensive threat so far through the first 12 minutes or so of this one. SAIT looking the more busier of the two teams, and they've got a chance now on the right hand side with Brock Mitchell. He takes a look in the middle, sending that one in, trying to find Kwasi Oteng, but just too close to the keeper, and Heppel will collect that one. And the Mariners will roll this out and build from the back. Slow build from the Mariners at the moment. You feel the pressures probably more on VIU coming into this as losing semi-finalists, a BC team looking to get a medal. Probably came into this game as well, you'd have to say, slight favourites. Maybe allowing SAIT to be a little bit more free-flowing with their play. Their first match, that 3-1 loss against Langara, they gave a really good showing of themselves, particularly in that first half. And then were very impressive in that win yesterday against St Boniface. Oteng trying to get clear there, but an important Mariners foot knocks that out for a throw-in, and it's going to be a throw-in quickly taken by Hyla. Stabler and Chitani just linking up now, and the press from the Mariners forcing the Trojans to play this one back into their half. But they've still got the ball, and they have enjoyed far more of the possession. Don't have any official stats of any kind, but possession stats, you have to kind of feel it's like probably 75% just now to SAIT. But here's a chance for VIU, and it's a Cabby Green twisting and turning and firing a shot in there. Easily dealt with though by Marko Ilic, third-year goalkeeper. And when I saw the rosters for this, I was like, that name sounds really familiar, and it's because he transferred to SAIT from UNBC Timberwolves. I'm a commentator for UBC Thunderbirds in Canada West, so the name of Marko Ilic was a name that I was a little bit familiar with from his time in his UNBC days. Good to see him playing at the Nationals this week for SAIT. If anyone has tuned in, not overly familiar with CCAA, it's the level just below U Sports in Canada. Colleges all across and conferences all across the country. High level of competition, as we've seen from all the teams here this weekend. And it's picked off by Hyla. Trojans certainly seem the livelier so far, and they look more up for this as that ball trying to find Oteng, but just has a little bit too much on it. Kwasi Oteng a little bit frustrated that just had a bit too much weight on it. And again, the Trojans seem to be picking up every loose ball when they're getting to the second balls as well, quicker than VIU. VIU obviously on a lot less rest than SAIT. I think SAIT's game yesterday against Boniface was the second game of the day, which was on at 12:30. VIU were in action at 3 o'clock, and that game went into penalty kicks as well, so they had put in an absolute battle. So a couple of hours less rest for the Mariners today. As the long ball forward looking for Oteng, and just a push there from Oteng is going to give the Mariners a free kick just on the edge of their box. This VIU Mariners side, a lot of these boys Nanaimo based, as is the university itself and elsewhere on the island as well. Nanaimo is going to be the home to the latest League One BC team that will be joining the League for 2023, Harbourside FC. We'd certainly be expecting to see a fair few of these guys taken to the pitch for Harbourside next year, along with guys from Nanaimo United and throughout the Vancouver Island Soccer League. Going to be 2 teams on the island next year, which should be absolutely fantastic. We'll have Victoria Highlanders and Harbourside FC in a good little battle. 8 teams will be now in League 1 BC next year. Had the pleasure of commentating on the inaugural League 1 BC season for Altitude FC, the Whitecaps, TSS Rovers, and for Varsity FC. Looking forward to seeing and welcoming Harbourside into the league next year. Maybe get over for a couple of the matches as well. My father-in-law stays in Nanaimo, so chance to combine a nice little trip over there for my wife to see her dad, and of course I'll just see some football. You don't want to do family stuff if there's football on. That's all in the future. The present just sees the Mariners knowing that they're in a right battle here as they try to get into tomorrow's bronze medal matchup. This time tomorrow, one of these 2 teams will be battling on this same pitch for a chance to take home a medal from this championship. Nishikawa twisting to try and get a shot off, but it's well blocked by a very solid Trojans defensive unit. That first game, that loss against Langara, I don't think 3-1 was maybe a total fair reflection of how that game went, but after it had gone to 2-1, the Trojans had to open up a little bit. That left them short at the back and they were punished by that third Langara goal. But they certainly impressed me from that showing. Mariners have looked good this week. They started this season a little bit wobbly. They had 2 defeats and a draw in their first 3 matches before kind of starting to hit their stride. Came into this tournament unbeaten in 9. You could technically say they're unbeaten in 11 if you just look at the games over the 90 minutes and don't count the penalty shootout yesterday. Which I like to look at positive, so let's look at it that way for them, as Heppel out to try and clear that. Doesn't get full connection on and just slices that one not very far at all, and that's going to give the Trojans a throw-in midway in the Mariners' half. Have to say, really love these Trojans jerseys. Very striking, with the Trojan helmet on it. Anyone from SAIT, listen to this, if there's any of those kicking around, wouldn't mind one of those in medium. If you can pass that along at the commentary booth tomorrow, that would be fantastic. Any free stuff going? I am Scottish after all. And the Trojans play that inside, it's sent to the back post, and Oteng with a shot is bouncing around in front, and we've got the opening goal. And it's tucked away by Nico Gonzalez, building on his 2 goals yesterday that he got in the bronze quarter final. 21 minutes gone here, and SAIT Trojans have the lead. Interesting hearing the 2 coaches there, Connor Brady just saying the next 5 minutes is important for SAIT. They don't want to give up. Kevin Lind on the Mariners bench say, look, it's still 0-0, we just go again. Sadly though, for the Mariners, it is not 0-0 and it is 1-0 to SAIT. That was a really good move. It came to the back post. I thought Oteng was going to put it away. Couldn't get a proper connection on it. Sent it back in across goal. And Nico Gonzalez in the right place at the right time to put that one away from a few yards out. Kind of feel that the Trojans are starting to really hit their stride now as this tournament goes on. And if you're heading into a medal match tomorrow, you want to be that informed team. What do the Mariners have in reply? They certainly don't look to have a lot of energy out there just now, which is understandable after that gruelling battle with Seneca yesterday. They just seem a little flat, not what we've seen from them over their first 2 matches. Still a lot of time in this one though for them to find that form. But I think SAIT well deserving of that 1-0 lead, and you've got to say that the way they're playing, you would not be surprised if they added to that before half-time as well. Playing some really nice football out there, using the width of this pitch. It's a nice pitch to play on. It's a newish pitch. It was just laid last year. I've mentioned in a couple of the broadcasts so far that for anyone that is unaware, this pitch is going to be the home field for Vancouver FC, the newest Canadian Premier League team. They'll be taken to this pitch in April next year. And as I always like to build the picture, just you're seeing the bleachers around it just now. You're seeing the area behind the goal where the trees are. So the plan right now is for a kind of U-shaped stadium where to my right will be the open side and you'll have a view out to the mountains. That stadium currently getting built over in Asia. It's going to be a modular stadium. It's going to be getting shipped over. They're going to start building it at the start of next year. Had a few people a little bit concerned there had been no work done on the stadium yet, but it is because it is modular and it's going to get shipped in, and those can get put up very, very quickly indeed. But this is a nice little kind of test event really for the stadium and traffic management and crowd control for the CPL coming here in April. I for one cannot wait to have another team to cheer on in the local mainland and cover it on our site AFTN. If you want to check out the latest AFTN soccer show as well, you can find that on aftn.ca. We've got some stuff about the new CPL team. Chat with the owner, Rob Friend. As the ball comes into the middle here, a chance for the Mariners. Bouncing around, and again, absolutely solid defensive play here from the Trojans. The game's coming thick and fast for the teams this week. 3 games in 3 days is going to be gruelling for all the teams, but right now the Trojans look the far fresher of the two. They've got that goal, they've got a solid defensive footing to build upon. Nico Gonzalez now with his 3rd goal of this championship, the leading scorer, taking over from Owen Goal. You feel Kevin Lindo needs to really try and lift his side here, because this is not the Mariners that we have been watching in their first 2 games. A lot of the credit for that though also has to go to SAIT, who have just simply not allowed VIU to play at all today. Trojans holding the ball on very well. Little flick forward now. Aria takes it to the outside, cuts inside under some good attention there from Rubiana. Stabler now sends a high up and under into the box, and the flag goes up though on Gonzalez. I was talking about League 1 BC and the importance that it is to a lot of these local players, and for guys on the Mariners as well, an outlet for them to play their summer football. Certainly something that is badly needed out in the prairies in Alberta and Manitoba and Saskatchewan. And there's been murmurs this year that there could be a League 1 Central coming. That doesn't seem any further advanced. I don't think we're going to be seeing that in 2023. There's been a few unofficial tournaments, but these guys that are playing their college football in Alberta, in Manitoba, in Saskatchewan, they need a high quality outlet to play in the summer. So hopefully we can see something, as that one's flicked on, but no trouble at all for Illich. But hopefully we can see something that is going to be an outlet for these players, whether it's League 1 Alberta, whether it is League 1 Prairies or League 1 Central. It is something that's very badly needed across Canada. You've seen the success of League 1 in Ontario and Quebec and in BC now. The 3 winners of those leagues all taking part in next year's Canadian Championship as well. I'm very excited to see TSS Rovers taking part in the Canadian Championship for the first time as League 1 BC winners. Been involved with the Rovers since they came into the USL PDL back in 2017 as commentators and official media partners for the club. And that's going to be a cheap booking picked up there by Stabler, and that's just such a stupid booking to get. Needless to kick the ball away there, and you kind of hope that doesn't come back to haunt the defender. Defenders on early yellow cards is never really something that you want to see. 29th minute there, the booking for Stabler. You don't want to be getting a interesting discussion from the referee there as well to Connor Brady on the bench. Brady not happy with the yellow card, and the referee coming over, don't know if it was picked up on the mics or not, but the referee coming over to explain, look, I'm not putting up with that, kicking the ball away, and also warning Connor Brady that that's the last time I'm coming over to talk to you. So if Brady says anything else, we can be pretty sure a yellow card is going to get brandished fairly quickly for that. What I was just saying for Stabler though is you don't want to put yourself or your team in trouble and miss a potential bronze medal game. And the Trojans don't want to go down to 10 men either, because they're fully in command here. Stabler's been very good for SAIT as well, coming through this first half. Reminder, if you want to get in touch during the broadcast, you can do so on Twitter at AFTN Canada, or if Twitter's not your thing, aftncanada@hotmail.com. Hope you are enjoying this one wherever you're watching on the stream. It's nice that we've got the streams up on YouTube as well. The first couple of games there was a few little technical issues with the streaming platform, so it's all been switched to YouTube now, and things are hopefully much better. Oteng gets his way past three Mariners players there and still powering through, but in the end can't find a way past Matthew Coburn. Coburn, one of 4 Pacific West All-Stars on this Mariners team, and they could really do with some of them coming to the fore now to get their team back into this one. But this is promising for the Mariners. They're moving the ball around well, switching it from right to left. But again, the pressure from the Trojans forcing the Mariners backwards here. A little poke inside now, outside to Nishikawa. Drawing oohs and ahs from the bench. Wasn't that close though, it has to be said, but at least it is an attempt at goal for VIU. These have been very few and far between in the first half hour or so of this game. SAIT will slowly build this one out of the back. No need for them to show too much urgency just now. They just want to keep hold of the ball, and now it's played through to Oteng. He's been dangerous when he's got the ball in that position. Again, he squares it in front of goal. This time Gonzalez is chasing it down and not the man in the middle. Brock Mitchell was right in front of goal there, but couldn't get a foot on that one. Gonzalez sends that in again, looking for Mitchell. As Hyla plays it back. Aria now, little touch inside. Outside now to Chitani. Trojans really looking good as they move the ball around here. Stabler finding the knee of Nishikawa, but the Trojans keep the pressure on. Stabler back to Chitani, who gives it back to Stabler. And the fullback sends a ball into the edge of the box that's picked up by Hyla. He plays it back to Solomon Aria. Lovely movement here from the Trojans. They seem to just instinctively know where everyone is. Chitani now lofts one into the danger zone. It's bouncing around in the box. No one can really get a foot on it here. It's played out to Oteng. He drags it to his outside and wins a corner for the Trojans. That was a great chance there, and a couple of dangerous looks on goal, just needing someone to put their foot on it and put it away. And a second goal here for the Trojans would be a real uphill battle for VIU. Trojans bench asking for more width from their team. It has been quite narrow from them for a lot of this game, it has to be said. They could really do with getting their wingers involved. Oteng and Stabler on this left-hand side certainly have been causing the Mariners some problems. Could maybe look for them to get a bit more involved in that. The corner comes to nothing in the end for SAIT, and it's going to be a goal kick which Michael Heppel will take. Been a good first half here. Action just flown by and very much dominated by the Trojans, and they've got one goal to show for their efforts. But now the Mariners, a chance for them to maybe muster something, but of course they are just dealt with that immovable object that appears to be that back line of the Trojans right now. Great clearance there by Kopo Anomo. A cheap free kick given away, and it's quickly taken by the Mariners, and they've got a chance to send this in from the left. Finds the foot of Chitani though, who'll put that out for a corner kick on the far side to VIU. The Mariners very much missing Vasilis Bagiopoulos out there. As VIU send this one into the box, it's bouncing around, it comes to the back post, it's whipped back in by Coburn. No one can get on this, and a great header there in the end, and what a save that was from Illich. Declan Brown rising to send that looping header in on goal, and Illich doing so well to tip it away from under his crossbar for another corner here for VIU. Their best spell of pressure in the game so far. They've kind of turned the heat up a little notch here. Dangerous in-swinger into the 6-yard box, and it finds another header, but this time it's just going to go out behind the goal. That's the closest VIU come, that dipping header there from Declan Brown. Illich more than a match for it though. And SAIT keen to just quickly get onto this. Oteng finds himself clear as well after that stumble, and he's got time to send in a ball into the box, and what a waste that was in the end from him. He's been so good with his deliveries today, but that one was one he'll certainly want back. He had all the time in the world to pick out the perfect cross there. Aria thought he'd won the free kick for his side there, but not to be. Hyla now plays it inside to Nico Gonzalez. Gonzalez has certainly had a good tournament. When you're looking at the tournament all-star team, I think you've got to have Nico Gonzalez as one of the players up there getting a mention. Difficult, of course, because there's so many good attackers here at the championships this week, especially on the Humber Hawk side. But Nyla now breaking up the right-hand side, tries to play that into the middle. There wasn't really any free men there, so winning a corner might be the best thing that the Trojans could have got out of that move. Just taking that brief break and play to get some water. It feels like it's been just end-to-end stuff, non-stop talking in this one as Chitani over for this corner kick for SAIT. Sends one in just to the 6-yard box. It gets the head though of Coburn, who clears it. Now it's a chance for Juan Rubiana to bring this out. Nishikawa over on the left side just now. And VIU forced to play this one back to Michael Heppel. Now they're going to try and bring it out on the right with Matthew Coburn. Great press there though from Solomon Aria, forcing Coburn to go back to his goal, and that's been the story of this one. It's been a very good pressing game from the Trojans in this first half. They haven't really allowed the Mariners to get much going at all. And the few forays forward that they have got, they've just found such a solid backline for SAIT. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, it has felt that as this tournament's gone on, SAIT have just got better and better. I mentioned 47 goals on the year, but only 6 given up, so that shows you the defensive unit. And obviously we're not seeing all the games that these teams play, and we're not seeing necessarily how good quality opposition it is. And you look at some of the scores that were put up by SAIT, and there's a couple of big wins there. They had a 6-0 win against Lethbridge, a 7-0 win against Ambrose, an 8-0 win against Medicine Hat, and then another 6-0 win against Ambrose. So you wonder just how much they were tested over the regular season in the South Division out there in Alberta. They certainly were tested in the ACAC playoffs though. 2-1 win over TKU in their ACAC semi-final. That one went to extra time, and it needed a goal in the 120th minute from Jacob Hunter. He scored at the end of the first half, and he scored at the end of the second half at extra time to give them the 2-1 win. That then set up an ACAC championship game against their old rivals, Nate, the Nate Ooks, and that was a 3-1 win for SAIT in that one, with a pair of goals from Nico Gonzalez, who was the tournament MVP. First of them, an absolute rocket from 25 yards. That game also went to extra time, before 2 goals in the first half at extra time saw the Trojans come through that one. So they're used to battles, they're used to tough games, and I think that's probably set them up well coming into this tournament, as the first yellow card of the afternoon shown to a Mariner out there. Card coming in, I think it's the 42nd minute, to Leon Bacchus. Trying to keep track of my yellow cards here. Haven't been doing that in the previous games. Trojans choosing just to play it back and forth in the middle of the half there, as opposed to just getting that one into the box. I'm sure they're not resting on that 1-goal lead, but they haven't quite got the urgency that they need to maybe show to kill this game off, because I do feel if they can get a second here, I don't know that the Mariners are going to have an answer to that. At the same time though, you do not want to leave yourself short at the back, as the Trojans again moving the ball around well, and a shot in on goal there, easily dealt with though by Michael Heppel. Winner of this game will move into tomorrow's bronze medal matchup at noon. The loser goes into the 5th, 6th placement game tomorrow morning at 9:30. Myself and Corey Basso both on the calls for those games tomorrow. As this ball comes through, and it's a nice little touch to the outside, and he nearly gets a shot off there, Osakabe Green, but comes to nothing in the end. But that was the best through ball that we've seen from the Mariners in this first half, it feels like. First one that really kind of split that Trojans defence a little bit. As we move into the final 2 minutes of the first half here. And it's been a very impressive first 45 minutes from the SAIT Trojans. Can they cap it off with a second goal? I would send them into dreamland at half-time and make the Mariners' half-time team talk very, very different. Tyson Chitani standing over this free kick, and he's going to send an in-swinger into the box. It's just on the edge of the box. It's chested down by Aria. He sends that back in dangerously across the 6-yard box. The Mariners get a foot and get that away, but it's coming back into the danger zone here. All hands on deck for the Mariners at the back, as Chitani just plays that one back to Stabler, and they'll just calm things down and build out from the back again. Possession-wise, it's definitely at least 2-1 for the Trojans. Probably actually feels a bit more than that. I'd even say maybe 75-25 in favour of the Trojans in this first half. Osakabe Green playing that inside for Fisher to try and chase down. A nice little touch inside by Marko Ilic. In the dying seconds now of the first regulation 45 minutes in this one. Keep an eye on the fourth official to see how much time is going to get added on here. Can't be too much. I'd be surprised really if it's anything more than a minute. Also wouldn't be surprised if there was none at all, and in fact there is none at all. There is the half-time whistle blown, and what a very impressive first half that has been from the ACAC champions, SAIT Trojans. They're 1 goal to the good. Nico Gonzalez in the 21st minute. A great finish from a cutback across the goal from Kwasi Oteng. That's the difference between these two sides just now. There's a lot of football still to be played in this one. Go stick the kettle on, grab your biscuit of choice, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. Welcome back to Willoughby Field in the township of Langley, British Columbia, for the second half of this first bronze semi-final between VIU Mariners from Nanaimo, British Columbia, the Pac West Conference, and SAIT Trojans from the ACAC, based out of Calgary. And it's a 1-0 lead for the Trojans at half-time. Nico Gonzalez with the only goal of the game in the 21st minute after a pretty dominant first half performance, it has to be said, from the Trojans. But now VIU making a double substitution at the half, and coming on, it's their talismanic number 10, Vasilis Bagiopoulos. He's got 4 goals in his 2 games in this tournament so far. 13 goals in the season so far. He's coming on for Ori Fisher, who didn't really get much of a look at goal at all in that first half. Making way as well is the number 15, Patrick Osakabe Green, and coming on as number 22, Alex Dedami. As it's the Trojans that's going to get the action underway here at the start of the second half. There's also a substitution for the Trojans as well. Actually, no, it's not for the Trojans. Another substitution for the Mariners. They're changing the goalkeeper. Making way is number 7, Michael Heppel, who had an absolutely fantastic first half. He is actually moved from goal into the midfield, because he is a midfielder stroke goalkeeper. Coming on in goal is the number 27, Matteo Chirico. I mean, we've seen Heppel play in the first game as a midfielder, in the second game as a goalkeeper, and now we've seen him play both the positions. That's the kind of stuff that really tickles me, I've got to say. I love that. I am Michael McCall. I will have the call for the rest of this one and for the second semi-final that is coming up later. As I keep saying, if you want to get in touch with us during the broadcast, we like these to be interactive. We like to hear where you're watching from. We like to get the goodwill wishes in for either of these teams. And if you just want to say hi or just chat about the game, the nationals in general, either of these teams, you can most certainly do that. You can get in touch on Twitter at AFTN Canada, or shoot an email, aftncanada@hotmail.com. But we're back to the action now, and the Mariners clearly know that they need to up their game here. They've not been much of an attacking threat in that first 45 minutes. It's been almost constant Trojan pressure. Moving Heppel into the midfield now and getting Bagiopoulos on is certainly going to be a big change for them here. Rubiano now to Heppel. Be fascinating to chat to Michael Heppel after this, just to speak about just the mentality of, you're starting the first half as a goalkeeper, so you've got that mindset. Now you've got to switch to being a creative midfielder, and just how easy is it to just switch between those two positions? I mean, I know when you're a kid and you're just like playing around in the streets or in the fields, at least when I was a kid back in Scotland, you would just go to a park with your friends and you'd take turnabout in goal, you'd take turnabout outfield, just messing about, playing about. Very different though when it's in a competitive game, especially one with so much on the line, as one of these teams will be moving on to tomorrow's bronze medal matchup and a chance to leave this national championship with a medal. And it's certainly been a much livelier start to this half for the VIU Mariners. And they're still very much in it as well, just one goal in it right now. As Matabikwa tries to get up that right side, but has that picked off him. Ball had broken to Dedami, but he in turn has that one taken off his feet. For the Trojans, I'm pretty sure the halftime team talk is just keep going, keep that intensity going, keep that solidity that you've got at the back, for the Mariners, you can be pretty sure that it was a case of you need to up this intensity big time, because it just simply hasn't been there, and it felt at times that a few of these players were running on fumes, and understandably so as well, you've got to say. No changes that I can see from the Trojans at half-time, and for both these teams it's their third match of the championship, so a lot of football has been played and some real tough battles. Admire that these guys can get on and still have such a high level of play and intensity out there after now over 200 minutes of football. I have to say, I really like the way the CCAA do this championship with their schedule, so that even if you lose your first game, you've still got a chance to play for a medal, as has been the case here for the Trojans, and they're looking to fully take that opportunity. Much prefer this to the more common, especially in U Sports, consolation final, where you lose your first game, the best you can finish is 5th. Sometimes you go up against a really tough opponent in the first round, or it could be a controversial decision that's cost you that victory. So I like the way that the CCAA do this, and it would be very nice to see U Sports maybe follow suit as well. It's Nishikawa. Gets in the box, fires a shot off. It's the first one of the half for the Mariners. Straight down the throat, though, of Marko Ilic. As we've got some sun and blue sky almost poking through here today. We had a great first day of this competition on Wednesday. Glorious day, beautiful clear sky, not a cloud in the sky. Sun beating down on us. Yesterday very cloudy. Today I think it's going to open up a little bit, and seeing the distance out to my right in the mountains, it's looking beautiful over there. It's looking beautiful for the Trojans right now as well. 1 goal to the good in this one. They've just got 40 minutes to see out, and they're going to be in a bronze medal matchup. Be a great performance for them, and capping off a great tournament for them as well. It's been a great tournament all round. Want to thank our championship sponsors as well. We'll go over some of them over the course of this half. Thanks to Sport Canada, the major funding partner of the CCAA and the CCAA National Championships. And to Derby Star, the official soccer ball of the CCAA National Championships. And that ball getting moved around well just now by the Mariners as they look to get themselves back into that. Matabikwa sends that one in, but too close to Ilic, and he'll easily deal with that one. Also want to thank the Kahunaverse Sports Group, KSG. They're the official retailers of the CCAA National Championships and the presenting sponsor of the CCAA All Canadians. For Imprint are the presenting sponsor of the official players of the match. We always like to give our unofficial AFTN ones on the commentary as well. We don't give them anything, just our good vibes. Heppel, little touch inside there. It's picked off. Nyla just got his foot to that, and it's given away there by the Trojans. Nishikawa sends one forward for Bagiopoulos to chase down. It's his first real run to close that one down. He is clearly good to go, and it was just maybe a tactical or a rest decision by Kevin Lindo to keep him out the starting lineup. Oh, and that's a terrible... You heard the player's head crack off the turf there. Heppel pushed down by Brock Mitchell, and If Mitchell stays on the pitch after that, he's a very lucky lad. That was one hell of a thud as Heppel hit the deck there. And Heppel has not moved much at all as referee over now speaking to Mitchell, and there's going to be some more treatment on the far side as well for another Mariners player. Heppel on his feet just now. That just came from nothing. And it's just a yellow card issued to the Trojan. Definitely would like to see that one back. As we've mentioned before, we don't have the benefit of replays here, but I think it was more from the sound of Heppel's head hitting the turf that made that one look really bad. But interesting decision there. Trying to eavesdrop a little bit into the referee official to my left here. I think I heard him saying that Heppel had pushed first and it was kind of just a retaliation from Mitchell, which is why it was a yellow. It was just a sickening thud as Heppel hit the deck there, and in these cold conditions, this turf is very hard out there. I had a little walk in it at one stage yesterday and it was bone hard. You do not want to be sent crashing to that. But we're back on to the actual football in action now as the Mariners send that one forward from Johnny McKenzie, but can get brought down by Bagiopoulos, and the Trojans will get this one clear. Heppel not showing any ill effects from that challenge. Now it's the Trojans that's moving the ball around well, and they've got a chance here to break up the left-hand side. Powering forward into the box there, but just running out of room in the end, and it has to get cleared for a corner by the Mariners. Kwasi Oteng again causing a lot of problems out there on that left-hand side. And Chitani over now to take this corner kick. He sends a dangerous in-swinger to the edge of the 6-yard box. It's temporarily cleared, but they can't get the full danger cleared, the Mariners. But now they've got a chance to break. Heppel pokes this one forward. The Dami running. He plays it out to Bagiopoulos. He looks for the curler and he looked for the placement, but just didn't have really the placement or the power on that effort, and it's easily dealt with by Marko Ilic. But that's something the Trojans have to watch for if they're going to be pushing forward to try and get this killer second goal. They cannot afford to leave themselves wide open at the back. Very different start to this half by the Mariners. They've certainly upped their game a little bit, and they've needed to as well. The Trojans still very much on it. It's a through ball here for Mitchell. He tries to get it out of his feet and he tucks it under the keeper. And there is the second goal for the SAIT Trojans. 13 minutes into the second half here. And what a finish that was by Brock Mitchell. Tucked away under Matteo Chirico, and you see the joy on the SAIT bench, and it's a long uphill battle now for the VIU Mariners. Just had to mute the mic there as a gust of wind caught my notes and sent them blowing across the stadium here, but that was a great move from nowhere. The Trojans hadn't been too much of an attacking threat in this half, but they get the goal there to go 2 goals to the good. And it's Nico Gonzalez and Brock Mitchell again doing the damage for the Trojans. 2 of them combined for 3 goals yesterday in that 4-2 win over St Boniface. Both those players as well also combined for the 3 goals in that ACAC championship game against Nate Oaks. And this is going to be a tough one now for the Mariners to try and get back into. They've got just over half an hour to try and find 2 goals. And I mean, you've got to be honest, it hasn't looked like they've got that in them just now, but they've got to do it just slowly and get that first one before they can even start thinking about that second. Brock Mitchell, a first-year forward for this SAIT Trojans team, so they're going to have him and a lot of this team together for quite a few years to come. 7 first years on this Trojans team. Nico Gonzalez, the only 5th-year senior, with Chitania a 4th year as well. So Connor Brady's certainly going to have this side together and pushing for some more ACAC titles in the next couple of years. And if they keep playing football like this, they're going to be a joy to watch in that Southern Division. I'm sure there's going to be some good battles between SAIT and Nate in the years to come. Got a message on Twitter from Karen Batty who says, Reed, Georgia, Nicole and Karen all say go VIU. The boys got this. They're certainly going to have to find a quick response to that goal. And it's interestingly as well that Brock Mitchell, that got that go-ahead goal, was involved in that clash with Heppel just a few minutes beforehand. That I'd still like to see back, as there's going to be another yellow card brandished here just now, and I think that is for dissent, I guess, for Nico Gonzalez. He seems very confused as to why he's picked up a yellow card. I'm very confused as to why he's picked up a yellow card. I missed something happening there. Must have been something that he said as the Trojans send this one back into the box, and it's going to run through to the keeper. Thanks to young Negrensi, who points out that it's Didam and not Didami. If there's any of these other names that we've got wrong as well, please let us know, because there is no pronunciation guide this week, so I'm on my own with these. And if you want to hear me butcher some names, definitely tune in to the next game for the Nomads Montmorency game. As someone that does not speak any French whatsoever, that is going to be a bit of a challenge. That was one of the teams I was hoping that I might not have to call a game for, and that Corey was going to get all their games. Not to be. Through ball there from Aria for Oltang to try and chase down, but well cut out in the end by Travis Brown. And right now the Trojans are just wanting to show some game management, run this clock down a bit, keep hold of the ball. And they've been doing a fairly good job of that. certainly worthy of their lead just now. They've been the better team by far through the first hour and a little bit of this one, and they're still pushing now for a third goal that would surely put this one to bed. Nico Gonzalez, a little bit of step overs in the box, has two players ahead of him and it's blocked, but comes out to Sanaga. Jatani just can't get that one into the box and he's forced to play it back. And they'll switch it over to the other side. Looking for Oteng out there. Hyla to Gonzalez, back to Hyla, little back heel there from Hyla. And if my eyes do not deceive me, and I'm not sure the camera's picking that up, but a scoreboard has arrived. So I won't have to keep remembering, hopefully, to start my watch tomorrow. Maybe even for the second game if we're really lucky. I did remember to start at the start of this second half, so there is that. I want to thank Jill on the camera for prompting me to do that. As the Mariners are struggling to get out of their half here. I'm sure a lot of people in attendance were hoping it might be an all-BC bronze medal matchup between VIU and Langara, which would be a rematch for the Pac West Championship game, with the Falcons keen to get some revenge on the Mariners for that 2-0 loss that they had. If the Mariners are going to reach that bronze medal game, though, they've got an awful lot of work to do now in the last 25 minutes here. And it does not feel that they've got that intensity about them that's going to get those 2 goals. I'm pretty sure, though, if they manage to get one, though, it's suddenly going to give them a huge boost. They came out fairly strong to start this second half, I've got to say, as Heppel in a battle there with Hyla. And the Mariners are going to have a free kick coming up here, 10 yards in the Trojans' half. Kevin McBeath says, "Let's go SAIT Trojans." He's cheering the team on from Lethbridge, Alberta. I know I keep complaining about the cold here. I know it's really bad in Alberta at the moment, so hope you're all bundled up warm at home watching this one, as Rubiano sends one into the box, but it's right easily dealt with there by Marko Ilic. And I thought he was going to quickly distribute that, but decided to keep hold of it, as he should, just to run this time down a little bit for the Trojans. Always dangerous to say this when there's still a lot of football to be played, but it's an almost perfect game that's been played out there by the Trojans, as a pass back there, not dealt with well by the keeper, and the keeper comes out and this shouts for a penalty there, but Chirico recovered well after dealing with that pass back. I don't think he was fully expecting it to come at him from some pace, and Oteng was closing him down fast. Chirico and Oteng coming together in the box, and the Trojan bench were calling for a penalty, and it looks like the referee's going to be over here to speak to Connor Brady. I mentioned in the first half he was on a last warning. I think something must have been said to the fourth official there, and a yellow card has come out for the Trojans coach. Actually, I don't think it is Connor Brady. I think I'm blaming Connor, but I think it's his assistant. You'll have to see that passion, though. I mean, they're 2 goals to the good. They've got a foot in tomorrow's bronze medal matchup, and they still are looking for more, and they're still fully passionate That's why I don't think I could be a coach. I don't think I would stay in the dugout for very long in games. I'd be one of those really annoying coaches that would be in the fourth official's ear constantly. As Hyla sent to the deck there. It's getting a little bit chippy out there. As my notes blow away again here, I've got most things taped down aside from the actual rosters. Put them down for a brief second and they just blow away here as it's not been that windy a tournament, but it certainly seems to have sprung up a little bit for this game, so that could make the second one an interesting affair. As that ball played forward to Matabikwa. And the Mariners are going to get a corner kick. Not a lot of urgency, you've got to say, from VIU. Not saying that they've given up the ghost here, but they need to up the tempo to try and get themselves back into this one. And I know it's easy to say from up here in the commentary position. I haven't been playing my third game of football in 3 days. This one's sent dangerously into the 6-yard box. It takes a bounce there off Kyle Rothney, and it's going to be out for another corner kick here to VIU. A good little spell of pressure for them here as we get into the final 20 minutes of this game, and they need to try and make this pay. They need to get this first goal back and reduce the deficit to 1 here, you feel. Time running out very fastly for them. Some good movement in the box there from Johnny McKenzie as he tries to make himself clear. The corner comes in, but it just meets a Trojan's head. It's out to Matabikwa, and he fires a wild one high and over. Trojans looking for the ball forward. It's a long one to chase down for Mitchell. He's got a bit of a coming together there with Travis Brown. And Brown does well to recover to get that one out. But it's going to be a corner kick on the far side to the Trojans. They're exactly where they want to be right now. And the same amount of urgency shown by the Trojans here for this corner as the Mariners showed a couple of minutes ago. You can understand it from the Trojans' point of view. They're 2 goals to the good and they're just wanting these minutes to count down. This ball is bouncing about. And a bit of a misplay there by Stabler. Stabler, remember, on that yellow card in the first half and hasn't got himself in any trouble since then. Well won back there by Nyla against Brown. It's played forward here for Brock Mitchell. He's in on goal. He's running out of room there. He's getting closed down very well by Matthew Coburn in the end. And Coburn did fantastic there to recover. Mitchell just didn't quite put on the jets that he needed. It's going to be a corner kick for the Trojans. If they can grab this third goal, then they will be booking their spot for sure in that bronze medal matchup. It's cleared, but just as far as Chitani. He's going to switch that out, but it's cut out here, and it's a chance now for a quick break. Nishikawa didn't quite have enough support up there and plays it inside to Rubiano, and it's danger snuffed out here by the Trojans. It's won back though by the Mariners. Out to Nishikawa. He brings this one down well. He's got a lot of players ahead of him. He's going to have to do a lot of this himself. He plays it into the middle, looking for Bagiopoulos. The ball's still in though, but just carries over in the end. The Mariners haven't been able to get Bagiopoulos involved at all in this game. Came on as a half-time sub. As the wind picks up right into our faces here in the commentary as well. Can possibly hear it getting picked up a little bit on the mic. Certainly brought the temperature down with it as it comes in as well. There's a little bit of cramp setting in as well. Mitchell, in fact it's not Mitchell that's down. I think it could be Chitani that's down, getting a little bit of help here for some cramp. Referee calling the trainer on. Take this opportunity to thank some more of the sponsors from this weekend. Veriburn Medical Supply, who are the official medical supply partner of the CCAA National Championships. Hoodle, the official CCAA film exchange partner of the CCAA. And Canada Soccer, national sport organisation partner of the CCAA. Jostens, the official championship award ring provider, and they are also the presenting sponsor of the CCAA Coach and Player of the Year. As the Trojans try to work out this cramp, they don't have long to see out. 15 minutes is all that stands now between the SAIT Trojans and a chance to go for bronze tomorrow. They've never medalled at these CCAA championships. This would be the first time for them to leave with a medal, and you've got to say, if they play tomorrow the way they've played today, they've got a very good chance of doing that. And it's actually Nico Gonzalez that's coming off with a bit of cramp, and no wonder. The shift Gonzalez has put in this week and this game in particular has been absolutely phenomenal. Jolly, Kopo and Nomo, the defender, coming on for... Sorry, Cole Rogers is coming on. Jolly's been on from the start. I just misread my numbers there. So Cole Rogers, the midfielder, is coming on for Nico Gonzalez. First year from North Van here in BC. And if he's got some family out here supporting him in this one. Most of this Trojans team are from Calgary, Alberta. Rothney is a BC lad from Victoria. And now Rogers that's on is from North Van as well. Kopanomo from Edmonton. Couple of players as well from Japan and Quebec not on the pitch just now for the Trojans. Hyla. He's been quite quiet today for the Trojans, but when you've got other players like Gonzalez and Mitchell in the form that they've been in, you can get away with Hyla having a bit of a quiet game. Unless the Mariners can find something special, they are destined to be playing in the 5th and 6th placement game tomorrow morning. Sure, that is not how they thought things would go when they took to the pitch at the start of their semi-final yesterday against Seneca Sting. And the Trojans just enjoying themselves out there just now, and it's all about game management just now for Conor Brady's side. They just want to see out these last 12 minutes, keeping their 2-goal lead, not picking up any injuries along the way, no stupid cards or any suspensions for that bronze medal match. And lots of shouting from Kopo Ano there, organising his back line, making sure that they keep this shape that has served them so well in this game. Aria skipping over one tackle but getting caught, and it's going to be a free kick now to the SAIT Trojans. Nico Gonzalez getting some treatment on the treatment table. I'm not sure if the camera is picking that up just now, but Trojans will certainly want him fit and ready to go for a big game for them tomorrow. Chance to win their first bronze medal, their first medal of any kind at these CCAA Nationals. Chintari sends this one into the edge of the box. Can't find his man. It's going to allow the Mariners to get something going. Turning a cross-field ball there from Dam. But Stabler just deals with that, and that has been the story of this afternoon for the Mariners. Whenever they can get into that final third, they're just finding a resolute Trojans defence. Now the Mariners are going to try something up the left-hand side. Johnny McKenzie gets past one man, tries to get past the second, hits the byline. I think he carried it out though. And the linesman agrees, and it is going to be a goal kick for SAIT Trojans here, as the Mariners are going to make a late substitution. Thompson Nelson, the man coming on, and the man making way is Alex Dam. Dam had come on in that second half, and it looks like he maybe took a little bit of a knock. He was just speaking to the coaching staff there and lifting up his left leg a little bit. Obviously felt something wasn't 100% right. As the Trojans get a chance to break here again, Cole Rogers. Those fresh legs out there against a very tired Mariners defence. Winning a throw in for his side, deep in the VIU half. And just a free kick given away. You don't want things to get chippy out there if you're a Trojans fan. You just want things to keep tight, no stupid fouls given away, or no stupid balls given away if you're a Mariners fan, as that was the case there. Straight to Oting, and sent tumbling in the box there, and a little bit of a dive I think from Aria, but referee over very quickly to make sure he's okay. A little bit confused as to what is happening there. But Aria is down. He's going to get some treatment here. Reminder, this second bronze semi-final coming up after this one. It's going to kick off at 3 o'clock Pacific time. Who will the SAIT Trojans face in that bronze medal match tomorrow? Will it be another BC team in the hosting Ligara Falcons? They've been ranked number 2 nationally all year round. They would like to cap that year off with a bronze medal and a chance to win it against the Trojans tomorrow. Standing in their way are the Nomads from Montmorency. They're another team that I spoke about, the Trojans starting to hit their stride a little bit as the week went on. Montmorency as well. After a tough opener against these VIU Mariners. Actually, sorry, that wasn't against VIU. That was against Seneca Sting that the Nomads had a real battle. Took Seneca Sting 2 penalty kicks. Mariners though still keeping pushing here. They've got 6 minutes in stoppage time to find 2 goals. It would be a dramatic late comeback if they can. Nishikawa can't bring that one out of his feet to get a shot off. And they're being closed down so quickly as a long-range dipping effort comes in there from the Mariners. Declan Brown with the effort, but just didn't have the direction on it. The Mariners going to make another substitution here. Defender Connor Nelson looks set to come on for VIU. Kick out from Illich. It's won back though by VIU, and Nishikawa being absolutely flattened out there by Stanley Sanaga. As the Mariners now try to get this substitution made, but they're going to wait until after this free kick is taken. But they are just going to make the substitution now, and it's a switch defender for defender. Connor Nelson coming on. Douglas Matabikwa, the man making way. Wasn't quite as effective today, Matabikwa, tearing up that right-hand side as he was last night. Got the assist on the goal that VIU got against Humber. So Seneca. Too many teams. It's all just blending into one now this week. Strubiana sends a dangerous one in the box. Illich under a lot of pressure there and sent crashing to the deck as well, and winning a free kick at the same time. Just a pile of bodies going in towards him there. And he'll be in no hurry to get on with this. Just let these minutes run down. Trojans don't have too much longer to see this out. 3.5 minutes. There will be probably, I would say, maybe 3 minutes of stoppage time. We'll get that confirmation shortly. If the Mariners are going to launch the dramatic of dramatic late comebacks, they're going to have to do it by getting a goal from this move, you would feel. A lot can happen in stoppage time, but the way that this game has gone, you can't really see the Trojans' defence suddenly caving. And the Trojans certainly not in any hurry at all. And why should they be? Been impressed what I've seen from the Trojans this afternoon. They're looking to cap it off with a third goal there as Oteng was in on goal there. The keeper out very quickly to poke that one away. Mariners though battling to the end. Can they at least get a consolation for their efforts this afternoon? I do feel that game last night against Seneca has taken a lot out of them. Just haven't quite looked on it for this one, and it is tough. These games are coming so thick and fast. They've had less rest as well, and probably a tougher match, if we're being honest, than the Trojans faced yesterday. But don't take anything away from SAIT. They have been absolutely outstanding this afternoon. A lot for Connor Brady and his side to be proud of from this whole tournament, and now they've got a chance to go and try and win their first ever medal at the CCAA Nationals. For VIU, they're going to be disappointed, but they've got one more game of football ahead of them. I think we might see a few of the fringe lads get a run out for that one tomorrow. There'll be a 5th, 6th placement game that goes at 9:30 Pacific time. Johnny McKenzie still fighting and sent tumbling to the deck there, and it's going to be a late free kick as we are 30 seconds away from stoppage time. We'll keep an eye on the 4th official, see how much time is going to get added on. Can the Mariners get one back here, which would certainly set up a very interesting few minutes of stoppage time if they can. It's a curler straight in towards Illich. Keeper and everything was up, and now he's left himself short at the back as the board does go up for 3 minutes of time added on. Mariners had to throw everything at that one, and they did. Nishikawa tries to drag that to the outside, but just takes a touch from Chitani on the way through, and Illich will be easily out to collect that one. Sorry if you hear weird noises. I'm trying to tidy my notes up here ahead of the second game. Johnny McKenzie still fighting away though here for the Mariners. And Heppel sent to the ground. He's got a big grin on his face, at least from that. Not often you see a player playing goalkeeper and midfielder in the same match, but that's what we have had from Michael Heppel this afternoon. Long ball forward, Bagiopoulos brings this one down, and Bagiopoulos has put one away. He's pulled one back for the Mariners with 90 seconds of this one remaining. And from nowhere we are into a 1-goal game here, and the Mariners will have that belief that they can maybe push on and get this game to penalties. This is setting up a barnstorming last 90 seconds here, and you've got to wonder, where was this from the Mariners earlier? It's the first real look on goal for Bagiopoulos. This would be dramatic if they can grab a second here. Nishikawa is forward, and Bagiopoulos tries to chase that header. Illich has to be out quickly. And Illich will just hold on to this as we move into the last 40 seconds. It was a minimum of 3 minutes of time getting added on. We'll see if the referee finds any more minutes. Time running out fast here though for VIU. Brown sends that one out wide. And just given away there, but hit up the field. Heppel now. What can he do? He tries to play that inside to Rubiano, but he finds a Trojan foot from Hyla. And there is the final whistle. There's no more time for the Mariners. They fall to the ground. They have given everything to try and get back into that, and they just couldn't. It was too little too late from them with that Basiopoulos goal. But a first half goal from Nico Gonzalez, a second half goal from Brock Mitchell. That sees the SAIT Trojans through to tomorrow's bronze medal game. Will they face the host Langara Falcons? Will they face Nomads from Montmorency? Tune in at 3 o'clock to find out. It's been an excellent performance from SAIT Trojans. They've got a chance now to go and win their first ever medal at these CCAA championships. Can they do it? That game goes at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you for being with us for this one. I've been Michael McCall. I'll be back at 3 o'clock. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day.